Okay, so NFL free agency it's been pretty interesting so far, honestly. I think all things considered, this was supposed to be one of the more boring free agency periods that we've had in a while because, we've had, last year was the massive Kirk Cousins thing, and there aren't very many huge name quarterbacks that could be on the move, so it was supposed to be boring, but honestly, it's been pretty fun so far, and a lot of trades have come out of absolutely nowhere, so of course, all of you are going to turn to the great messiah, the just masseuse of knowledge in me, TubFrog. I know everything. So, let's just talk about free agency together, because I also want to hear a lot of your opinions in the comments, because there's no right or wrong answer. We don't know if these moves are going to work out or not, but boy, do I have some opinions. Let's start with the Seattle Seahawks, okay? I absolutely hate what the Seahawks have done this offseason so far. Thank you for giving us Geno Smith. I don't think that's the worst move they've made. Geno's not really fitting their timeline. I get that, but he was great in Seattle, and it's going to be interesting to see what they are going to do with their brand new quarterback, because they signed Sam Darnold to a, hold on, what was the contract again? 3 years, $100 million for Sam Darnold. Okay, so, in a vacuum, we all watched Sam Darnold lead the Vikings to almost the number 1 seed. When it mattered most, he was terrible, which, maybe you could argue that's variance, whatever, he'll get better. I watched a lot of Seahawks games last year, and I'm assuming there's a lot of you Seattle fans out there that are positive towards this trade and negative, but for me, who watched the Seahawks a lot, Geno Smith was a good quarterback last year, but what was this team's biggest issue? The offensive line. The offensive line for the Seahawks was the second worst line in the entire NFL by PFF, only being better than the Patriots, who literally didn't have a center. And Connor Williams retired too, which sucks. Charles Cross was really good last year when he played, but he was dealing with injuries. So they also how do I even say this? So Sam Darnold last year was one of the most blitzed quarterbacks in the entire NFL. It's no secret that that's how he was attacked by defensive coordinators. They just throw a ton of pressure at him, which he responded well to, actually, for most of the season. He was one of the best quarterbacks against the blitz at one point, but it didn't work out for Sam Darnold in the end. We all watched that Rams game. He was sacked like 23 times in the first half alone, and he just looked like a JV quarterback out there. I don't know what else to say. He doesn't do well against pressure. I don't care what the numbers say. He is not a quarterback that performs well with pressure in his face, and that could be happening like every single play, because Geno Smith had to get the ball out of his hands in like 1 second, and they straight up lost multiple games last year because Geno didn't have time to throw. So I think Geno is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold too. Obviously, the age thing is different. I don't think Sam Darnold is a franchise quarterback. I guess I could be wrong, but the defense is good. It's looking like they're going to waste another year of Kenneth Walker's prime. And this offensive line, man, they need to do something about it. And then I guess let's stay looking at these NFC contenders. I'm talking about the Vikings, not the Seahawks. Seahawks aren't anywhere close, but the 49ers are just... It's a beautiful day to not be a Niners fan, I'll say that. They are exploding this team. They just lost, Hufanga's gone, Debo was traded, obviously, Dre Greenlaw's gone, Elijah Mitchell, which is another interesting one, Aaron Banks gone, Tarvarius Ward, he was pretty much always going to leave because of the personal stuff that he had going on in Santa Clara, but we still have to wait to see what they're going to do with Brock Purdy. I'm assuming they're going to reset the market again on him, which I do think he deserves. Whether that's the best move for the 49ers financially is to be seen, but I think Brock Purdy is a really, really, really good quarterback. I think he's going to be top 10 for the next 5 years at least, but this is going to be a whole new Niners team. I think regardless of if these moves are good or not, on paper, this 2025 49ers team is going to be the worst team they fielded in like 6 years, at least, which is insane because last year I still believe they were the most talented team in the entire NFL, but the injury gods had other plans. It's just... I don't know. I think they really, really lost some pieces. Fred Warner's going to be lonely. They lost Kyle Juszczyk too, which I guess isn't like the most important loss they've had on offense. But for the locker room, I think that's going to be a huge hit for sure. There's guys like George Kittle who have literally been with Juszczyk their entire career. So, stuff like that matters. The locker room presence is a huge thing for sure. So, I don't know. It is looking like this Niners era is going out on a rough note. And it makes sense, right? After that Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs, there was no way they were going to just bounce back from that, right? No shot. Another interesting team to talk about, sort of, is the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is one of those teams that I really would like to hear what you guys have to say, specifically Eagles fans, because on the surface, there are a lot of moves being made here that I guess I just don't understand. I get it, you gotta trust Howie Roseman and all that, but they did bring back Zach Bond, which is enormous, but why did they trade CJ Gardner-Johnson? Why? I do not get it. I don't get it. And the package was frankly terrible. Kenyon Green? They got Kenyon Green in the trade, and he just does not look like he belongs in the NFL. Simply put, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the most educated guy in the world out there on Kenyon Green film. I'm not sitting here watching hours of Kenyon Green highlights, but I'm assuming the thought process for Philly is maybe CJ Gardner-Johnson wanted an extension or something, and then they thought, well, we pretty much revived Mekhi Becton's career. Maybe we could do the same thing with Kenyon Green, but I don't think it's the same thing. I don't know what they're doing there. It's just, it felt like CJ Gardner-Johnson kind of embodied everything that Philly's culture was about, and it really sucks to see a guy like that leave. So I don't know, man. It's, once again, you gotta trust Howie Roseman, but they also, Darius Slay is gone, Josh Sweat is gone. The culture is going to remain the same, and, they should still be, they're gonna be a great team next year. It's just, I think that this defense had potential to go on an all-time run, and now, I don't know. We'll see. Now, I want to just talk about some teams that I think are quietly winning the offseason and aren't really going to get like a lot of broader media attention. So let's talk about the New York Giants, and let's ignore the 3-year, damn near $40 million contract they gave to Darius Slayton. I got nothing there. I guess he's a fine wide receiver 3, but I am more focused on their bigger deals and what they're building, because I think that they have the steal of the offseason so far. Javon Holland might be the best safety in the league that's not named Xavier McKinney or Minka. I think he legitimately is top 3, and he's always going to be like an underrated guy that stats nerds love way more than the average NFL fan, because he is just an absolute monster, and he is going to bring back that Xavier McKinney style of play that New York has been missing for just one season, but they're getting it back. And okay, hypothetically, let's say that the New York Giants draft Shedeur Sanders, because I think that they will. I think it'll be Sanders or maybe Travis Hunter. Either way, that is going to be a terrifying offense. They're going to have Shedeur Sanders at quarterback, Tyron Tracy at running back, who's, solid, I guess, Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, and then on defense, you have Sexy Dexy, the best defensive tackle in football. You have Brian Burns, an elite edge rusher, and then you have, Javon Holland. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. The Giants, people expected them to be pretty solid last year. I think I've been pretty much dead straight correct on the Giants for the last 2 years. Definitely got some hate for my opinions, but I've been right. But this year, I think they're looking scary. I really love what they've done in the offseason, and it's going to be a tough division, but they should field a respectable team next season. And then also, I guess, on the other end of that 49ers thing, I think the Denver Broncos deserve a ton of credit as well. They haven't done too much, but they've brought in Dre Greenlaw and Hufanga, which 2 guys that have been dealing with injuries for the past couple of seasons, but are just absolute dogs, too. I mean, Dre Greenlaw, I think, when he's healthy, and I think, 2 years ago? I don't think he's ever made an All-Pro, but has he even ever made a Pro Bowl? I don't know. Point is, Dre Greenlaw is amazing and has been one of the most underrated players in the league for the past few years as well. So if he's healthy, he is going to be a huge asset. And same with Hufanga too. Hufanga was definitely not the same player all of last year. He was playing through injury and then maybe was rushed back a little too soon. But if he's healthy too, then that's amazing. Because remember, this is a top 5 defense in the NFL last year, and they might just get better. So you hate to see it. You hate to see it as a Raiders fan, but Denver's they're looking good. And also, one more thing to just, dab my Raiders fan tears. The Packers signed Nate Hobbs. I'm gonna miss that man, dude. I'm gonna miss him. When he's healthy, because he is injured pretty much every single year, but when he's healthy, he is legitimately the best tackling DB in the entire NFL. So Green Bay, you are getting a hell of a player to pair back there with Xavier McKinney. Dude is a... Why did we lose him, man? Why? And then I guess from here, we can keep an open-ended conversation, because these are still moves that I'm not even particularly sure how I feel on, because the Laramie Tunsil trade in particular is interesting. I think honestly, it's For Houston, we all know what the big problem is. It's the pass protection with CJ Stroud. Shockingly, this does not help that when you lose an all-pro tackle. Not very helpful, but 3 first-round picks? I mean, assuming that the Commanders were the ones that offered this trade, you can't really say no to that. Did I say 3 first-round picks? It's just 3 picks in general, which is amazing. Amazing deal for an aging tackle. But going into next season, you know, Diggs is gone. Tank Dell is going to be out for potentially the whole season, I think. We're still not 100% sure. Joe Mixon's getting older. The defense still looks great, but I don't know, man. We're going to need a heroic CJ Stroud season to be a true Super Bowl contender in Houston. Otherwise, this is still a good move for the future because CJ Stroud is still ridiculously young. The Texans aren't in win now mode. They're just in, you know, let's try to win 11-10 games and see what happens. So I kind of like this move for the Commanders too. Both sides, this is like sort of a win-win for me, but I think I've gone back and forth on this so much. I really want to know what Jets fans have to say about this. Justin Fields, dude, this is the least, I didn't see this coming at all. Justin Fields is, in my opinion, a worse quarterback than Aaron Rodgers right now. And honestly, I don't really think that's some crazy take. Aaron Rodgers was playing better as the year went on. I think I've made like a short on it or something where I do think Aaron Rodgers was vastly overhated just because of his public persona. But from a locker room perspective, this is a good move. Aaron Rodgers was not good for that locker room and for the media storm in general overall. So I get it. But Justin Fields, I don't know, dude. He's just, like, he was solid last year when he played. Is he a franchise quarterback? I don't think so. And then you have to look at it from the Jets' perspective of, are they trying to win now or later? I don't know. I don't mind the risk, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes because the Jets are just gonna keep being the Jets, aren't they? Okay, and then I'm sure you guys you want to hear what I have to think about the Las Vegas Raiders. My Raiders. How have we done this free agency so far? I'll say this. I think it all depends on the draft. The offseason is important, yes, but it all depends what we do with that pick. Everything depends on what we do. I think we've put ourselves in a scenario now that we have Geno Smith that we're just going to take the best player available, whether that's Travis Hunter, whether that's Tetro McMillan. Maybe we think he's better than Hunter. Maybe we take a lineman. Maybe we take Shador Sanders. Who knows? But we're just going to take the best player available. And I am actually, I mean, I talked about it on a short, so I won't go too much in depth here, but I think this Geno Smith move is pretty solid. You know, it's anything to get me out of watching Desmond Ridder football. Good Lord. But I think Geno Smith was an underrated player last year. I think if he doesn't historically regress, he should be a good addition to this team. But then the issue becomes, well, okay, yeah, Geno's going to make us better, but who cares, right? I mean, the Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs are all better than us, so does it really matter if we win? Like, do we really need to push for this 8-win mark or this 2-win mark? Because without Geno, we probably would be like the worst team in the NFL. I don't know, because at the same time, you don't want the team morale to just sink below zero. I'm all in on just winning games. We need a culture. I think that takes precedence over everything. And then also, you know, I think the defense is going to look way different next year, whether that's a good thing, because we lost Morig, we lost Robert Spillane, Divine Diablo's gone too, which sucks. I wish he could have turned into something. But Jeremy Chin is a good pickup, I think. We'll see with Landon Roberts. We got Lonnie Johnson too. I'm pretty hyped about bringing back Malcolm Koonce if he's healthy, because before he got hurt, he was actually like breaking out. And literally nobody knows that but Raiders fans. But Malcolm Koonce could be a hell of a player. So I don't know, though. It'll be interesting because I think this team's ceiling is a wild card spot for sure. But at the same time, it sucks because this team is not anywhere near a Super Bowl for like the next 3 years. So, God, I love being a Raiders fan, man. It's so much fun. But yeah, I don't know. Those are my thoughts on free agency. I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, then subscribe because I got a lot of videos on the channel just like this one. And if you did like this video, then watch this video I did a few days back on the Philadelphia Eagles. It's pretty good, trust me, and I put in a lot of effort into it. So watch it if you're a supporter of the channel. And thanks to all my Patreons for pledging $1. It truly does mean a lot. But anyways, until next time.